Hey, collective, I am back very fast with another download. I tell you, just fixing myself. A few hours after I delivered that message, and I was just burning some, nice smelling incense around my house and just feeling good after releasing that message and that energy. Again, I reveal to release and heal for myself and hopefully to guide and heal the collective, to make you aware and conscious, to open up your consciousness, but also make your conscience um, just be enlightened and let my collective know that you're not weird, you're not crazy, you're not just imagining anything. Like things are happening to people on a daily basis, 24 hours, that can't be explained or described, or it will send people to a mental facility. And I'm just letting you know that, like I said, I've experienced a lot of supernatural things from birth. And I'm not saying this comes easy to me, but I'm just used to things like this. Trust me, I get surprised all the time from the message that I gave just recently. You should go ahead and listen to that when you get a chance in regards to people getting their karma and what I experienced. I was surprised. I was surprised to hear that voice. I was surprised to hear that daunting and receive that daunting energy in my energy field, in my mist. But lo and behold, I'm about to get into my download that just happened a few hours ago. Collective. Well, before I get into that, I was like I said, just thinking, and I was feeling good afterwards, releasing that energy. Because when I don't release things, it just stays with me. It just stops my whole entire day until I release things, and I have to pray and meditate. And I was like saying to myself, should I stop with these messages? I was talking to my ancestors and my spirit guides. I said, should I stop altogether delivering these messages and what I experienced? And they told me, no, keep going, keep going. And that really made me feel good. That made me feel like this is my mission. This is my purpose, to deliver these messages about myself and just about life overall, just general things to talk about, and deliver tarot, deliver messages, deliver healing through my tarot and my messages. So the download, I'm getting into it, collective, the download that I received, I saw myself as a little girl, and I was playing Barbies. I used to play Barbies a lot when I was by myself before, my family, my mother was, before she brought siblings into my life. I was the only child for a while. And I heard, I saw myself playing with dolls, and they were big dolls, by the way. And I realized that I was trying to match up a female and a male, as a couple. And I end up seeing two males dolls holding hands off to the side. I don't know why I had to share that, but I quickly split them apart, their hands apart. I didn't know if I did that on an accident, but I quickly didn't like that and I split their hands apart to remove them from touching the dolls. It was weird. And I went back to playing with my dolls and just pretending, imagining my life being different, playing with my dolls, being happy. You being a kid, you're just being imaginative and creative and hoping and, like I said, imagining a different world than you're living in. And that's how it was when I was young. I imagined myself just living a different lifestyle. I used to put things on my walls as I got older of what I wanted to be, who I wanted to end up being with, and just imagining myself being a Disney character, just a lot of things. And I definitely drew a lot of pictures of my spouse and just of me being married and, a fairy tale type of lifestyle. And that wasn't my real life. Growing up, my childhood was very dysfunctional. Um, when I was a baby, I remember the love and, just being a toddler to be able to walk and talk, and it was fine. But as me growing up, you gain conscience, you realize things, you see things, and just growing up into my teenager years wasn't so good. You know what I mean? I had my good times and bad times, but definitely it was dysfunctional. And like I said, I've seen a lot of things that my parents went through, especially, being a single, living in a single household after your parents get divorced. That's devastating for you. But I pretty much, my dream, I saw myself playing with dolls and I heard my mom um, pleading, and how you play with your spouse, but this wasn't a normal play. This was her pleading for um, her spouse to leave her alone and to stop. And this is stuff that I heard, you know, being a child, and you're innocent. I always felt like I was my mom protector. I always felt like I had to be her protector. And being a child, you're just full of innocence and you speak the truth. And I used to speak out um, when I was angry, prayed as well for sure. I had a deep prayer life. That's what got me through my childhood. That's how I've connected with the spiritual realm, the deep prayer life that was installed in me, that I did on my own terms and on my free will. And like I said, I'm really happy my mom kept me in the church. That's how I found my spiritual self, my spiritual sense. That's how they found me. That's how they chose me. They saw my heart was pure. And I was living in a dysfunctional house of a heart that was so pure, but was getting diluted by the surroundings that I was living in. So my dream again, my mom, she was pleading and just, you know how you play and then it gets out of control. And I heard that. And it led to other things. And I don't care how long you've been in a relationship. I don't care how long. Even if you're married, if you're saying stop, especially the opposite sex is saying stop, leave me alone, let me be. You know what I mean? Then you should respect that. Then you should stop. I don't care if you have a ring on it, on someone. Doesn't mean you take advantage. You don't take advantage of someone's innocence or of someone's energy or of someone's um, whole being. You don't. That doesn't give people the right to do that. But it happens. That's what I heard in my dream. And then, I don't know, I looked at, so my mom was being taken advantage of. And I couldn't do anything about it. So deeply inside my heart, I wanted to run out of that room and see what was going on. I wanted to run out of that room and do something. But I just stood there, playing with my dolls. And I don't know why I said that. But as a child, you feel that it's your fault when things occur around you that you couldn't stop, you couldn't prevent. And I said in my dream, maybe she deserved that while I was playing. And I felt like I said that to numb the pain I was feeling, that my mom was passing on to me eventually. She didn't know, but she passed that on to me. Because why would I have said that? You know, I said that in my dreams again to avoid what I was hearing and what I couldn't stop and what I couldn't avoid. I said maybe she deserved that. And I continued playing and imagining. And then I heard some alarms go off in my dream. I felt like my dolls made a sound, an alarm sound, or just out of my mouth, an alarm came out. And I woke up to attend to something in my house. I think that was spirit telling me I need to go attend to something in my house. But I woke up and I was just like, these energies that was being projected on me since I was young, it was all projection. It wasn't my energy to take on. It wasn't my energy that I should have been responsible for. It wasn't my energy that I needed to feel pain from. And again, I just realized that the energies that are coming up right now is triggering me. They're trying to trigger me. They're bringing up things that happened to me in my past. And a part of me is saying, I feel like this is definitely my shadow work that I'm going through. Energies are bringing up to heal me. I'm revealing energies. I'm revealing things of my past to release it and to heal. That's what it came down to. Collective. I am revealing, releasing, and to heal. That's a good way to think about your shadow work, your shadow side. The energies are trying to, again, nitpick and project on me to make me feel some type of way, for me to feel and live and be in fear. But I look at it as me healing. I look at it as me standing up and looking that fear in the face and say to that fear, to that energy, to that entity, you can't stop me. I'm going to continue revealing. I'm going to continue releasing, and I'm going to continue healing. Most importantly, I'm going to continue to love. No child should experience and hear and see and witness anything wicked like that. But it occurs. I'm speaking to all single mothers out there, even to mothers that been in a two household parent household. It's not always crack up to what it is, what they want it to be. You could even be in a two-parent household growing up and stuff is still dysfunctional. And I'm not putting and throwing that on anybody's childhood, anybody's life. I'm not throwing that out there, that energy on no one. I'm just keeping it real and speaking truth. It don't always happen to single parents. And it could be the opposite. You could be in a loving family of two-parent household, loving, and it could be of peace and of love, as well as a single parent. You could be living with a single parent, it could be of peace and love. Okay? Collective. Definitely, energies was just definitely playing on my fear, playing on triggering me after I delivered that message. That's what it was. They're triggering me. They're trying to. All I could say and all I could feel was, and like I said, all I could say was, I'm sorry. I literally just woke up and said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mom. I couldn't help you. I couldn't be there to save you like I always wanted to. I couldn't be there to heal you. I'm sorry. But I can't accept the projections. I can't accept the traumas. I can't accept her traumas and of her energy that she went through onto me. It's not my cross, is not my energies to bear. And I'm revealing it to release it and heal from it. I'm revealing it to let it go. I am sorry. Everything that you went through, I am sorry. I'm sorry. I've seen it. I've heard it. I witnessed it. And all I could do, Mom, is to pray. All I could do now is to pray for you. Pray for your release. Pray for your healing. Pray for you to love again, to feel like you deserve love. Pray that you are loved. All I could do is pray for your healing. I've seen so much things, like I said, that I should never seen. And it really goes into ancestry, karma. It goes into generational curses. Maybe my mother experienced that. I'm sure. She was a prayer warrior too, spiritual woman. Dark energies and entities love to attach themselves to light beings, spiritual people. I've heard stories of my family's life. I've heard. And I'm here to break the chains, especially when I realize the pattern. So my mother's mother definitely probably went through a lot of things, a lot of demonic forces, a lot of things. And it probably took her over. Then that generated to my mother. And my mother went through a lot of things in her childhood, I'm sure. People back in those days, like they say, what happens behind closed doors, stay behind closed doors. They stay mute. They don't talk. They get silent. They get quiet. That's how it was back in the day. Then that generated to me. It's like, you know what they say when you marry your mother, you marry your father. I felt like I saw resemblance from my grandparents. And I thought their marriage was so perfect until I heard things later on in my life of what their life was. And I said, my gosh. So my mom pretty much married her father. It's not funny, but I saw the pattern. Because as a child growing up, I saw my mom and what she went through. It wasn't pretty. Hard-working mother. Loved the best she could. The best she knew how. But she was damaged. She was damaged long before she can experience and know what real love really was, really meant. She was damaged. She was damaged goods. Bringing a child into this world, thinking that's going to change your world and your life. Then you're projecting that onto your children of things that's not healed within you. I've seen things from my household, my parents' household, from my parents, how they treated me. And I said to myself, what did I do? I'm wondering what possessed them to act that way. They were possessed. Possessed. People show a different side when they're in a household. When you're out there in this world, they don't show their true self until you get behind closed doors. Then they reveal the mask. So my mom married her father. I saw resemblance from my grandpop to my stepfather that she married. He called himself spiritual, but he was a damn demon. I'ma say it like it is. She married a fucking demon. And all he did was pretty much brought chaos in the household, confusion in the household, things I should never seen in a household. He's cheated. He's done drugs, literally crack. In my house, I've seen. Brought friends in a house he wasn't supposed to. Belittled me. Belittled the hell out of me. let alone beat me, because my light was so bright, because I was so innocent. Came in drunk as a skunk, coming in all types of times, showing lack of respect, lack of love, lack of loyalty, lack of character. She literally married her father. Now, these may be certain traits that my grandpop had. I didn't know until later on I heard things and seen things. She married a man who was a womanizer, a verbal and physical abuser. And as I got older, I told my mom, you don't deserve that. We should leave, we should go. But she stayed because of the kids. A part of me felt like anytime now, my mom was going to go crazy. I saw it in her. I saw it in her from time to time when I was a teenager. Or like in my preteens, I was thinking she was going to leave. Just leave us stranded. I felt that energy of her pulling away. But what kept her was us. It was her kids. But her mind was gone long time ago. But her body was there, binded, trapped, stuck, tortured. Also, when she couldn't vent, she cried in church, crying. I knew the reason why she was crying. She wouldn't reveal it. It was pain. She suffered a lot of pain. And she probably still to this day is. Then she lashed out on us, on the kids. If it wasn't lashing out on my stepfather, she lashed out definitely on us, on the kids. But I was the oldest, so it definitely happened to me. It hit me hard. I was the guinea pig of the family. So I got the runt of it. I got the brutal, verbal, and physical abuse of it. And at times for no apparent reason. I literally felt like I was Cinderella. And my mom was the wicked mother. And along with the 3 siblings I have, they were the stepchildren. Wicked. A lot of projection happened in my dysfunctional family. Okay. As my siblings grew up, the devil himself and the way he treated me, the kids, my siblings thought that it's okay for them to look at me like that, for them to treat me that way. He was my stepfather. So eventually they knew that he wasn't my real father. I had another father. That was thrown in my face. Oh, your real father don't love you. He's not there. Words of being said dumb and stupid. Being called out my name, bitch. And eventually, and that was coming from my stepfather. Because again, he was a damn demon. I saw it in him. And I just really thought my mom was fucking blind. She was. She was in a trance. Maybe a sex type of trance. I have no idea. She would not leave that man's side, in spite of all the abuse she received. That happened for a long time that I've seen and experienced. Okay? And I guess it was okay after my siblings grew up, because like I said, the disrespect got worse. Certain things they got away with. I couldn't have got away with that when I was younger, that they were doing. And I seriously thought, like I said, I was my mom's protector. And I'm just getting the brunt on both ends of trying to protect, feeling like and just feeling like a slave at the same time, trying to protect but being a slave. My siblings eventually joke around. My nickname was called Anime. That character played on Ike movie, I believe. And they called her Anime, and she was getting abused. I didn't like that. But the disrespect was real in my household because it started from the family. It started from them projecting onto each other and then onto us. So it was okay. But like I said, God sees all. Again, the energy is trying to project onto me for me to feel some type of way. But like I said, I reveal to release and heal. And I disconnect myself or dismiss myself from my past, my old life, because I'm healing. Okay? Each and every day I'm healing. And I forgive. I forgive. And if I don't forgive up close and in person, I forgive from a distance. And I keep it moving. But I released this because I needed to. This trigger that happened within my dreams, within my consciousness, this is in my deep subconsciousness that came up, that I need to uproot it and heal from it. I'm encouraging all mothers, in a relationship or not, and you're single. You're single for a reason, because you got out of that toxic marriage and relationship that you needed to. Kudos to you. You did the right thing because you love yourself. My mom did not love herself. She wouldn't have put up with that abuse. I definitely knew it was a pattern because I got married. I looked at my grandparents from on both sides, my real father's side, which I adored, and my mom's side. They stayed together in marriage for a long time. And I was like, that's love. Before I realized and found out certain things that occurred in their marriage. That was abuse. And I just saw 444 while I'm recording. I have to stay on this course. I have to stay on this path and continue to heal because I am breaking chains. I am. For energies to be this strong, revealing itself to me in many ways. I'm breaking chains. Blessings is coming to me. Blessings is on the way. My collective. I broke the chains because I've been in a marriage that was also verbal abusive, physical to an extent. And I realized that same energy was in the person that I married. I married my dad that I didn't have in my life, looking for love in all the wrong places. Married someone that was so dominating, that was so controlling, and eventually was verbal and physical abuse. That was traits that I've seen previous relationships in my family's life. And I stayed in there because I was saying they did. And how would it look upon me to leave, to break it off and cut? And then I had children. I kept saying I was staying in it for my kids. Same pattern. Hitting different generations to generations to generations. Just keep going. That's what they were saying. Stay in there, keep going. To death do you part. Literally, are you going to stay in a toxic, abusive relationship to your death? Think about it, collective. You married in love. You married for love. You didn't marry to die. You didn't marry for someone to physically, verbally, mentally, emotionally abuse you, hurt you. You didn't marry for that point. You didn't marry for that reason. I was married for a long time because I had that mindset. I was conditioned. Like my previous relationships I've seen in my family childhood, they were conditioned as well. And I broke the damn chains. And to this day, I don't regret it. I don't. I feel good, collective. But I realized that that was a toxic chain. I experienced so much spiritual things in my marriage that I seen that was relating to my family curse background. I'm about to reveal some things. For instance, I was sleeping one day. In the middle of my sleep, I woke up to my ex fighting in the wind, fighting. Had his hood on. I just heard him swinging and fighting. And I think he was asleep. So he was sleepwalking, but he was standing there fighting himself. But I stood there in my bed watching because I knew he wasn't fighting just himself. He was fighting the demons that was around him, surrounding him, and that was in him. He was fighting his own spiritual warfare. And I had to get him and calm him down after he was done and he woke up or snapped out of it. That's one example. Another example, I was praying and I don't know, I think I was pregnant with my second child and I was resting and I literally was hearing chains from out my hallway. I was in my bedroom resting and I heard chains. Like, I felt like, you know how you walk and chains are just dragging along the ground. Yeah, collective. So that was a chain, a curse, a toxic chain, a generation from also from his side that he's fighting was going through. He was definitely a soulmate, and I felt like we trauma bond. I really do. I connected with him because the connection he had of his family was together for a long time. That's what attracted me to. His parents was together for a long time. But you don't see what goes behind the doors. You don't see what happens individually with people. Your spouse or just anybody won't relieve or won't reveal what happened to them individually until you really deep in the thick and deep in the deep with them, until you get further down the line, years down the line. Then you're finally realizing who you married. The mask is is taken off. They're revealing and showing them true selves. And at that time, it's too late because you already have 2 to 3 kids and you married for how long? And they installing fear in you as well. He definitely installed fear into me. I definitely was the one that was trying to repair and to keep the marriage together in so many ways. But it didn't help. It didn't work because people don't want to be helped if they don't want to be. If people don't want to be saved, you can't save people. You can't help people that don't want to be helped and saved. You just can't. They end up dragging you down. It's like that movie that I really like with and my condolence to Robin Williams, the actor. I truly liked him. One of my movies that I like, he played him with Cuban Jr. Wow, what is it called? That's one of my movies I really love. I can't think of the names on the tip of my tongue, but it was very vivid dream. It was different. And I'm going to just give you some of what happened. He ended up marrying a beautiful woman. They both were different and in love. But the family went downhill after the children got hurt. Okay, and that caused his wife to go crazy and into a mental state. And he was busy too. They both had good careers. But it kind of stopped his. His wife definitely went downhill. And eventually he tried to save her. They definitely were opposite attract. I think she was some type of artist and he was a doctor or something like that. But it went downhill because he was trying to save her. She didn't want to be saved. But when she finally came to realization of loving herself again and to want to refresh her life and renew it and to live on, because he was trying to save her energy, her spirit. It showed him trying to save her from the pits of hell that she was in. And he eventually saved her. And at the last minute, he was starting to fade into the same energy that he was saving her from. He was fallen. And I forgot how the end went. But what I'm saying is, for just single parents out there, and this goes for both sex, male and female, save yourself. Save your life. That's what I did when I divorced. I finally said enough was enough. This marriage is not that important. There's no love in this marriage. I'm not growing. We're not evolving. You don't want to go anywhere. You want to stay complacent and just settled. Same shit, different day type of energy, and just the way I felt. I was starting to feel like my mom. I was starting to feel the bitterness. I was starting to feel the misery. He used to always say, "You're just like her." And I would say, I don't think so. But eventually I started to feel and I started to believe that, because I was living the shadow aspect of my life just like she was, just like I saw her live, and was telling her from a youth point of view, as her being an adult. I was telling her her youthful self. I was telling her her spirit. I was looking at her saying to get out. We can leave. You don't have to stay. Leave. But it turned her cold. It turned her sour. It turned her bitter. And I just made up in my mind during my marriage for the 10 or 11 years that I was in it. Enough is enough. It just got worse over the years. And when the times I wanted to leave beforehand, when it went through that 5-year, 7-year, 10-year period, they pull you in. They manipulate you and say, I'll be better. I'll do this, I'll do that. Do all what they can to keep you there. That's a narcissist pattern. A narcissistic pattern. And then when they see you turning into somebody you're not, you finally standing your ground, you're speaking up. You don't want to be bothered. You're talking back. You're speaking against the negativity and the projections. You're protecting yourself and knowing your worth and showing yourself love. They're wondering what's going on with the other person. They're wondering what's going on with you. Saying you're weird, you're crazy. Something's going on with her. What's going on with her? That is a narcissistic pattern and behavior. I married a narcissist. Pretty much. And I had to get out. Because he refused to leave. I had to leave. My mind was already gone. My body was there. You see the pattern, collective? I was conditioned to stay, to work it out. But I was like, enough is enough. And I had to call the shots. I was speaking it into existence ahead of time. Let my kids know things are going to change. And when it do, get ready. I was at my breaking point, collective, in my marriage. It was either I go into a crazy house or I leave. That's how deep it got. And I refused to go into a crazy house or be sent in a hospital for the third time from a man. I refuse. Yes, I left verbally abused. I left with a physical altercation. But I refuse to stay in it. I refuse for my children to be belittled, talked down, disrespected, and also verbally attacked. My children did not need to see their mother being treated that way. And I stood my ground and I cut the strings. I cut the chains. Oh, hell, that demon was upset. The energies were upset. But I caused some type of shake. I caused some type of change in the atmosphere that day, that night. All hell was broken loose. And when it was moved away, when it was evacuated by law, by God's law, but also by man's law, when it was removed, collective, my gosh, I never felt so much peace in my life. When that energy and entity was out of my sight, in my household, I was able to breathe. I was able to compose myself. I was able to have some type of clarity. But most importantly, I felt peace. I just felt like God was saying, peace, be still, my children. After my life was in circles, going through circles and patterns and uproar of conditioning, I felt at peace, collective. I felt at peace. And you see why I really, really love and enjoy my singleness. You see why I really, really love and enjoy my peace. I have a peace of mind because the peace of God passes all understanding. And the enemy and entities of past don't like it. They're trying to attach themselves and still feed. But I am releasing, I am revealing to heal. All I can say is the burdens that I've bared from other people's burdens and conditions are not mine to bear. Release. Peace, be still. Release. I release. And I'm healing. All I can say is I'm sorry. And I pray for anybody's healing. And I pray for my family to just heal and release. But I broke those chains long time ago. And I'm going to continue breaking them. Bit by bit by bit. My children is going to live in a loving home. And they actually are living in a loving home. The love that I didn't receive, I'm giving it to them right now. Each and every one of them. Even to my animals. They feel the love. We love each other. The light and life is in our home. People come into our house at the time when we had company and they said, your kids really love you and adore you. I feel the love and peace in this home. I feel it. I heard that from people's mouths. People that come and rest here. Be at peace. Like they've never felt before. My house is a safe haven. And when we have our ups and downs, we work together. We don't abandon each other. We work together. We love each other. what happened to me, it just comes down to it at the end of the day that I was shaped and molded to spread my light and my love to my family. What I didn't receive, what I was missing, what I was starved from, physically, mentally, and emotionally, I'm giving to my kids right now. And energies and entities and must be family don't like to see that. Call my family weird. Call us whatever y'all want. I'm letting my kids live their life the way that they want to live it, with God on their side. I'm nurturing them and showing them the best love. Unconditional love is what it's called, to my children and to myself, that I didn't receive. So these energies and entities, they can reveal anything that they want, because I'm going to rise above it and I'm going to continue healing. I'm encouraging my collective to continue healing as well from your shadow side. Everybody's going through different periods in their life of them experiencing your shadow side to experiencing things that's coming up, you know what I mean, that you're going through, that was traumatizing. Continue to just work through it. Release it. Talk to somebody. You can talk to me if you want. Be a PayPal, pen pal to me, sending me, letters, or if you want to comment down below to talk to me, I'm all ears. My channel is about healing, and I reveal things, like I said, and release it to heal. And I'm just encouraging my collective to work through it and heal. Write it out in a journal. Talk about it. Start your YouTube channel. Hell, can't keep it in though. You got to release it. Collective, okay? Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and spray. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, thank you. I thank you. Again, reveal it, release it, and heal. My collective. Because that's what I'm doing. And it's helping me. It is. Straight up. And again, I'm sorry to anybody and everybody in my family, but everyone needs to heal on their own, and everyone needs to heal their own traumas. Break your own chains. Heal from the hurt and the pain and release it. Reveal it, release it, and heal. Again, because it's not my chains and my problem to bear. Not anymore. Not anymore. All right, collective, this was deep, but that's what occurred in my vision right after that message from before. Again, stay prayed up, sprayed up, saged up. If you would like anything to protect, heal, and cleanse your space, definitely check out my store. That's what my store is about. All right. Till next time, collective, take care.